Or actually, I have multiple hours. So we're gonna resume it now. Oh, wait, this is the event, Whirling Waltz. We'll get to that eventually. Treasured above all. Go to the entrance of Hotel du Bois. Which I think we found out by reading character stories, Hotel du Bois is actually a front for the Fatui. But it also means we're probably going to go talk to Linny and Lynette or Fremine. Or I don't think Arlecchino is in Fontaine anymore. But I will not discount the possibility. Tartaglia would be more likely. Mr. Worldwide, that man is. Mr. Worldwide indeed. It'll actually be interesting to talk to some Fatui people after all this time, just because,
Is that Navia over there?
Oh,
It's been a while. Let's go say hi.
Of course it's the one person I didn't mention. I want to talk to a Fatui agent after we've gotten to interact with the captain.
Too slow.
Hey, Navia, what you up to?
We're back from Natlan.
Shh.
You should be excited to see us. We've been gone for almost a year. Why the secrecy?
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right
Oh.
now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
That's how it's pronounced? Also, that's a new NPC design.
It was an accident.
Was it? I believe you, because I have no reason to suspect otherwise.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
Don't point to her and tell me that that's a reason. That's just hearsay. Or he said, she said.
No, I'll do better, I promise.
You seem too timid to be somebody that would maliciously do something wrong.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack. You gotta at least hear her out.
There goes Paimon.
Wait!
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia?
You're gonna ignore the person you're talking to? Let's look at the frame of where it is. I know that I'm covering it up a little bit, but look at that. Paimon is right there, and which means ideally you should be looking right there. If I were you, I would not be seeing Navia out of the corner of my eye, regardless of how gold and shiny her outfit is.
So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
I'm sorry?
Savanna, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
You know, the Spina di Rosula is supposedly like a mafia-type entity, but they don't really seem to have all that much push or pull in Fontaine from what we've ever seen. They got a lot of push and pull in Poisson, but that makes sense because they're based there.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business.
Is it?
We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
I mean, that's very noble, but is that your business?
Overworked? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If Firmin can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
Ugh, that just reminds me that I ended up working overtime on Sunday for the Mother's Day. Not a great day. We had to do so much prep work for an event for 150 people, and only 75 showed. Or 74, technically, like less than half. Well, then again, one person did show up late, so I guess there was 75. A lot of work, though. And then there was also a meeting that day at work, too, so I ended up having to stick around an hour and a half later than I expected to leave. Such is the life of working in a kitchen.
But Firmin can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Yeah, Yeah, technically being overworked and collapsing from overworking means that you are doing the job. You're just doing more of the job than you should be.
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you. Come on, we have work to do.
Boy, this lady needs to... Someone needs to call Protected Services or, what's the term? The Better Business Bureau or something. Where's the Department of Labor?
What a horrible person!
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again.
I don't think you dragged us. Paimon would have gotten involved even if you weren't here. So who was that?
Her name is Savanna. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer.
Who put her in charge? As I mentioned earlier, this is technically a Fatui front.
Ever since she took the job,
Oh, not
she's
Hotel
been
de Boer. They have
enforcing
the other
a
hotel.
brutal
Never mind.
work
I'm mixing
regime
things up.
and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw.
I mean, if you were just going to sit by and watch, you weren't ever going to mediate at that point, though.
Savannah is adamant that Firmin's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us.
Now, we should definitely contact Monica after work. She seems like she'd be willing to share information.
Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think that this is going to be the most productive method. You're waiting for Savanna to leave? So you were going to try and approach Monica.
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke. Did Paimon ruin everything?
Not really. I think Savanna would have probably tried to approach... Probably would have watched her leave.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
You stand out too much. Either way, Savannah's seen you now. You probably won't get another chance.
Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh,
Inside
I
scoop,
might
you
as well
say?
head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Why not ask Charlotte for help? Or Chevreuse?
Paimon will join you, cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
You did what I would have done in that situation, Paimon. You did nothing wrong.
Oh, guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast. A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern.
Really?
Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene
Oh, the
we
hostess
witnessed
is
just
here.
now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Aww. I'm glad that she seemed like a nice person, and I'm glad that we're finding out she was a nice person.
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Correct again, Paimon, as usual.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Paimon, don't make things more difficult for her. Thank you for the gift.
Alright. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Please don't drop the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savanna.
We'll keep going for
a little highly strung, huh?
about an hour. Looks like with Savanna in the kitchen, even the waiting staff are on edge.
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
That is a good question, and I think I asked that question already.
Well, according to Firmin's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Ah yes, never underestimate Navia's affinity for sweets.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper.
Ah, so she did want to get the word out afterwards. I love Monica.
Find Escoffier?
Treasured above all.
Escoffier? Could this mean...
That was the name you were about to say as the new chef of
You
Fleuve
know
Sandra,
that
wasn't
name,
it?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Sandra for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
To Fleuve Sandra. Oh, we're getting stressed right into a cutscene.
So, who is this Escoffier anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savanna.
Really?
She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
I feel like I don't know who Modeste is.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savanna take her place?
That's a good question, Paimon.
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu.
Were they?
But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food.
Oh, it did.
In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
She went to jail for that?
The Fortress of Meripede?
Darn, it would have been nice if we met her there. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was probably just a formality. We got sent there for eating someone else's cake.
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savanna.
It only takes maybe 90 days for something like that to happen at longest. I can imagine someone getting demoted within a week.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
This sounds like sabotage to me.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savanna on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savanna out.
She is not in charge of the hotel. I feel like we should be talking about whoever owns the hotel about that.
It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Or, get rid of her. You don't necessarily need to get the old one back if safety violations were happening. If I was the one that owned the hotel, I'd be definitely suspect to do that. But definitely replacing her doesn't seem like it's out of the question.
Well, about that...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove!
I don't like the sound of that. Also, fun fact, cream of mushroom soup is one of those things I can't eat. It makes me sick.
You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes.
Serving hot water with ice cubes. Someone write that one down. No need. I will take a screen cap of it. Because last I checked, she's cryo, right? She's a cryo chef.
At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I feel like the phrasing and direction of this line doesn't match up, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
How has the Hotel de Bard made it this far? I am at a loss for words.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors a chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
I just already know there's gonna be so many Gordon Ramsay memes.
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Okay. Hell's Kitchen it is.
Yes, Chef.
Is anybody gonna say anything?
Excuse us,
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, I just realized her vision's up here, tied on the back of her head like a bow.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
Uh-oh. That's probably not the right choice of words, Paimon.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
There goes the customers. All right.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
No, but I bet a new well-renowned chef would definitely bring in more customers.
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
She didn't want to go back to the Hotel de Bord?
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bord doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Firmin to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Oh, is this Firmin's kid?
Firmin. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
The person who was worked nearly to death by Savanna?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
I've mentioned this before, but I'm not the biggest fan of Escoffier's design.
Hey, I heard that, Navia.
I'm not sure if I like the voice all that much either. I don't know, it just feels like a disconnect. It sounds like she's trying to be angry, but I don't feel convinced.
I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
Nutritionally complete dishes.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Well, for starters, you could try not to speak to us in that tone.
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savanna.
Since Hilaire is working for you, you must be aware of the situation with Savanna.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore, and being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business.
Well, can we hand you this letter that we got from Monica?
Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savanna to take the job in the first place.
Really? Color me intrigued.
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even.
Oh,
she
no.
wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
Uh-oh. If this ends with Monica turning into the head chef and then she's gonna turn into a really mean person... Oh, no. Please don't tell me I predicted the ending already.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savanna here?
Sounds like you're describing Monica.
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
At least she's self-aware.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamma and the others probably think that Savanna gets it all from me.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
Give Monica's candy wrapper to Escoffier.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Fair points.
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Uh-oh.
Escoffier?
She's about to go on an angry rant again. Is she gonna call someone an idiot sandwich?
I can't believe her. Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Uh-oh.
Wait, so now she's,
Well, whatever the reason she came up with, at least she's convinced herself to have a conversation.
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
I'm really concerned for Monica's well-being. I've had to work with many a head chef in my day. All of these seem terrible. Even the worst head chef I've ever had to deal with wasn't this bad. Hotel de Boer. Hotel de Boer.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh, I hear Monica. I'm coming, Monica!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
Darn. This man is me.
But please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay.
Uh-oh.
I know.
It sounds like he's already forgiven you.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica. Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Yeah, you know, you don't need to do that. I already feel sorry for you.
Savanna said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
This, to me, is horrible. Man, I gotta get out of the food service industry.
backwards logic? How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Firmin had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
This man is me.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savanna tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
Why is this guy getting so much screen time?
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and
I guess that's that is a difference.
we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
The title sticks, unfortunately.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, what happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? Is that the toxic substance?
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
He's still
It's a
here?
flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
Interesting. I love this Renaud guy. We're never going to see him again after this, but he's been nothing but helpful.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances.
Why do I get the feeling Savanna's a user?
Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake.
Oh, this makes it even worse that you got fired for this.
But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time.
I think it only made it worse.
And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
A fry chef?
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Navia, it's in the sewers.
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm downing from now on.
Thank you, Renaud. You've been extremely helpful, and now you've been annoying. Okay, I take it back. This guy's not like me at all.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
I don't know. There's sometimes, at least where I work, the head chef isn't the one solely responsible for ordering product. The business owner would hold partial responsibility as well. At least a half, or a third at the least. Also, didn't you come out here to curse her for using too much powdered sugar?
If only Savanna was half the boss you were.
Is she?
I'm sorry?
Uh-oh.
Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
Why do you even have the question marks? We know who you are.
No, chef.
So, you do remember who's boss. Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
I came here to curse out a chef for not using the right amount of powdered sugar.
What happened to you, Savanna? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Maybe we should give them some space.
Oh, Savanna! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
Oh shit, she is, isn't she?
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Renaud, do you have any more input?
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
I was not expecting someone to come in with such a fake French accent.
Fan Asian?
Aye, miladies.
Oh!
Might I make a humble suggestion?
So this is the person who owns
Given
the
that we have
hotel.
ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
We're gonna have a cook-off? Please don't tell me we're doing a cook-off. I've already done a character quest that was a cook-off.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
Oh god, we did get more input from Renaud. Sounds like we're in for a history lesson.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
The cooking contest! Of course, of course!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant.
I can't believe how much screen time we have given to a random NPC that couldn't even tell that his soup was messed up. This man is me!
The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. Sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
To be fair, though, there's like the cafe down there, and then there's the Fleuve Sandra bar. Tavern, whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know. This is one of the problems with like the level design I have with like a lot of RPGs in general. This is like the only restaurant in the game, so in the city, more or less. So calling it the best one in the city just feels dishonest.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
Uh-oh. There's someone trying to... Oh, she has little heart reflections in her eyes.
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Thought so. There's your answer, Paimon.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savanna, any objections?
I mean, Savanna just needs to object, and this is a dead, kaput game.
Exhibition. Huh. No.
No as in no objections, or no as in you won't do it?
If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Boer to me.
The Codex de Boer?
What? The Codex de Boer?
Oh my god. Renaud, you are the GOAT! The Codex de Boer, what is that?
Only only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Bourg.
Wait, I thought we were just saying that, Escoffier managed to recreate it without this thing, though. So I thought this was something that was lost.
It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Bourg have the right to read it.
That seems highly inefficient in a kitchen that has more than one chef.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savanna, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Oh, there's multiple copies of this? Then who the fuck cares?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I guess that's fair. But for historical purposes, I don't know why anyone let her leave the building with it.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, there's no way an original copy doesn't have, like, some notes or something written in the margins.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier?
Especially if it's like a personal chef's
or are you
recipe
scared
book.
of me getting my hands on the original codex?
Savanna, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
So to say, forceful.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they?
I was not prepared to have my own spit thrown back at me.
And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Bourg, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
Hey, that's my favorite Disney villain song.
You sound surprisingly confident.
Does she?
Alright then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savanna. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
I think she's doing a shit job at that too, personally.
Believe me, I'll show you.
I have a feeling someone's about to get poisoned food.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
Let's talk to the goat, Renaud.
I can't believe I got to witness that firsthand. I only stopped by here for a quick meal. I definitely got my Mora's worth today.
See, this is what a true customer looks like. This is what it means to be appreciated of what you get. This is what every customer that goes to a restaurant should be. This is a model citizen. And yes, he does look a little bit like me, and I might be projecting here. But that is not the point. Alright, Vanijan. What more fake French accent can you do to make me look in trouble? Despite the fact that I don't have a very large French audience.
I do apologize. This whole ordeal reflects rather poorly on us.
Wait, aren't you the boss? Can't you rein in Savanna a little?
I'm afraid it's not quite that simple. The Hotel de Bourg runs as more of a partnership, you see. It was founded by two friends, Modeste and Savelli, and it's been that way ever since.
Oh, so you're like only half owner. Do you like only own the hotel part?
So, while I am technically Savanna's boss, it's not really my place to interfere with the business of the kitchen.
This seems highly inefficient. But at the same time, I kind of dig it.
To be perfectly honest with you, that's part of the reason why I suggested a cooking contest. If Escoffier wins, it would be the perfect opportunity for her to talk some sense into Savanna. Or, of course, if she wanted to return, then... But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever the outcome, this contest will hopefully serve as a turning point for us. Please, pass on my best wishes to Escoffier. I must say, Savanna surprised me with her confidence. Does she really believe she can best Escoffier in the kitchen? I thought she was just blowing off steam when she first raised the idea to me.
Wait, so this was Savanna's idea? Uh-oh. Oh, this is definitely going to end poorly.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Go to fold me.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Oh, that's right, you didn't curse out Monica. Win for Monica.
Okay. That's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
So anyway, what's this Codex de Bois she's so obsessed with?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene.
That's pretty good. Also, I like that the bowl looks like a giant flat teacup. I don't think I had an opportunity to mention that when the goat Renaud was eating.
For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bois was made using a special secret ingredients that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted.
And you figured out what that ingredient was, huh?
Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bois, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world.
I'm glad that we're getting this cool historical backdrop.
Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bois.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Bois took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
Well, to be fair, Modeste was still there. He didn't really need it. It was his mind and his recipes that made Hotel de Bois famous. The Codex is just a collection of documents.
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century?
Because people's taste might not change that often. I mean, America has been on a downward trend in that regard, so I'm not exactly one to talk.
Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bois' heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering.
Which we heard was mostly thanks to you.
Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Are you sure you're not confusing it with one of Inazuma's light novels?
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't
Say that
get
in a
the
video
taste of
game.
modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bois they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why, though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
If it was lost for a century, Paimon, why would it be in the book if every chef has a copy of it?
It did, but like I said, it's a dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modest wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe.
What rare ingredient did you use as a substitute?
As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Venegem's business sense to thank for that.
I should have known. I should have known.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Tis marketing. Marketing ruins everything.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right?
That's what I was
Not
saying.
to mention that the Hotel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
True.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savanna.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing?
That's what I was
Like,
thinking.
whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef.
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savanna only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only
So-
thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place.
Oof.
Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
I don't know, that just feels odd.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gâteau do the talking.
What does that mean exactly?
It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
Please don't.
However much
Assault
she's
is
changed
bad.
since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Firmin. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
How funny would it be if she loses?
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Paimon, have you seen how she treats her staff? I would not be so quick to volunteer for this.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
That they didn't give me an option to wimp out. We're known for a satisfying salad. We're not a cook.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it.
You're not
I'll show
competing.
you
We're
what
on the
I'm
same
made of.
team.
Confident. I like it.
And
Alright,
Paimon,
let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
wait, Paimon doesn't get anything? Paimon, what are you known for cooking? Show Escoffier your knife skills. Use normal attacks to cut the fruit. It seems she will collect the slices once to process them into some sublime substance.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
That doesn't look chopped up to me.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
What the hell is a cold press? Is it like a pressure cooker?
A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients.
How does that
which
work?
Can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely.
No, you explain that to me in more detail.
But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
I don't care if it works. I want to know how it works. Display your mastery of the cold press. Tap your elemental skill to accelerate the cold press's progress. Use normal attacks to let it do its work. It seems that the special substance extracted from the plants might come in handy here.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
It is definitely weird, Paimon.
No recipe, no the device isn't cold enough yet. I need to reduce the temperature.
Alright. How do you work? Perform up to 3 consecutive spear strikes. Consume to stamina to perform an upward thrust, plunging attack. Low temperature cooking, level 11. Behold the true meaning of cooking. Escoffier will demonstrate different cooking techniques. When you tap or hold the skill, the rest assured. Each of them is Fontaine's pride and joy. Tap, activate all spectrum multi-use cooking mech in its cold storage mode and deals AoE cryo damage. Cooking mech cold storage mode follows the current active character and fires frosty parfaits at opponents at interval. It shoots parfaits? Boy, you would have been nice to have during that boss fight against the chess pieces. And Arc Uisa, because you have that. Alright. Hold. Activate all spectrum multi-use cooking mechs off the cuff cutlery mode. What? Off the cuff cookery mode. Places the cooking mech on the field. The cooking mech can exert elemental attacks. When absorbed elemental energy hits a certain limit, Escoffier can convert the ingredients placed within into a wonderful food. Escoffier needs time to purchase new ingredients, so she can only make a certain number of dishes like this each week. The number of these dishes Escoffier can make resets every Monday at 4. That is such a weird ability. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? I gotta send that to a buddy of mine real quick. That is a ridiculous ability. Okay, what does your ult do? Displaying her exceptional knife skills, Escoffier deals AoE cryo damage and restores HP to all... Oh, you're a healer? I guess that makes sense. You're a cook. To all nearby party members based on her attack. She's an attack scaling healer. But she only heals on ult. Better salivate than medicate. After using elemental burst, scoring cuts, Escoffier will obtain... Oh, it's just linking to the attack. Will obtain a rehab diet effect for 9 seconds. Restores HP to nearby active characters for 1 second. So she gets she gets healing on her ult, and then she gets a HOT after the ult. Inspiration immersed seasoning. When there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hydro or cryo characters in the party, Escoffier will decrease the hydro resistance and cryo resistance of any opponents hit with her elemental skill. Or her burst. That's pretty good. And constant off the cookery. When using the hold form of her elemental skill, Escoffier will activate it in her all spectrum multi-use cooking mech, and it's off the cookery mode. Cooking mech on the field. Wonderful food. Oh, so they had links to it. That's what that was. Weird. I'm not sure how I like this new formatting.
A dash of frosting. Yeah. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I've processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Learn at Escoffier's feet. And master her precision of cooking! The flavorings you can get from her multifunctional food processor adjust the flavor profile of the dish, strike a balance between fruity flavors and floral flavors. The flavor profile and make a delicious dish. Okay.
Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much, and not a drop too little.
So we want to balance the flavors. So we have playing cards, basically. So we want to put 4 in. So we put in 6, we'll be 2 over. So let's do 6 and 2. That seemed really easy. It's a balanced equation. Flavor balancing complete. We had a whole animation for that.
Voila. Now it's your turn.
That being said, I know that there was like a cooking event at the Wangshu Inn or something that I skipped. Maybe these are all mechanics from that for all I know. With Escoffier's guidance, everyone completes the flavoring process.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
I guess I treated it like an adventurer's puzzle.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand.
Why was there a question mark there?
Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Final score?
That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
I don't even know if we understood the... I don't even know if the rules of the tournament we're about to partake in even mentioned us even being allowed to help you. Submit dishes from Hotel du Bois.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu.
Wasan seafood soup. Oh, hang on. There's got to be a cooking pot near here somewhere, right? A few moments of cooking later.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu.
I can only present this. Seafood soup originated from Busan. Well, that was a waste of time then. After confirming that it was indeed your attempt at cooking food meant for human consumption.
I know this doesn't represent what you're capable of. Try again, and this time, I want to see you make a proper attempt.
Okay. How do I know what dishes are from Hotel du Bois? Here we go. Should have came here first. Okay, so we have Fontanian foie gras. Fanta. Garlic baguette. To think I couldn't have completed this mission even if I wanted to. Since I had not bought these recipes. I'm just gonna grab all of these. I'm just trying all the Fontaine recipes now. Face lights up as you present her with your finished dish.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
3 stars. I don't have any 4-star Fontaine
Pretty
cuisine.
good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
Why is mine underneath a cover?
6 points.
To Paimon's?
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
6 is barely passing, technically.
That's 6 out of 100.
Oh, come on! Don't get so smug.
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it.
Oof. Also, those are some huge-ass fucking macarons over there, Navia.
By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Oh, the sound effect for the heartbreak. Oh, that hurts.
Me next, me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
2 whole... Hang on. Did she say tablespoons? She said tablespoons. That meaning there's a version of these that has 2 more tablespoons of sugar.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aw.
Yikes. She's a harsh judge. Also 12? Excuse me? 12? To be fair, I'm thankful that it's only 12, but 12 is a lot.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
The Traveler? Come on.
This is our last hope.
8 points.
8. Damn, there's no way in hell the Traveler's a better cook than Navia.
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Out of 10.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation.
Where is this side of her character coming from, and why don't we see it normally? Look at that derpy-ass smile. Look at that derpy-ass smile.
I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
Maybe even 9 points.
How did you pull that off?
It's all the practice from cooking for you, Paimon.
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen.
It was worth that 30 minutes that I cut out of the video.
I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Paimon's not that picky. That being said, when we did get to Sumeru, she did scoff at half of the food there, and I thought that looked pretty appetizing to me. Like the akaranja nut. That just sounds like a dessert made from nuts. It's like, how bad could it be? And that's coming from me, a guy who doesn't like nuts.
Hey, you made that last part up. No way did you taste that.
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Navia's not that bad of a chef. She just has a very picky choice of ingredients.
Chef Escoffier.
Oh no, it's Hilaire.
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bois, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
Huh. And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Oh, Firmin!
Firmin? Last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
No, sit out. We're doing this because you're overworked. The last thing we need is a workaholic to do more work. Are you sure you're up to the task? No! Send him to bed!
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bois kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean, I hope so.
Firmin, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bois?
It's been like a day or... It's been like a week, though, right?
I have not. But I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
Is he gonna collapse?
Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
Because you have, like, PTSD.
What do you call this, Firmin?
Oh, damn, I was on the money with that.
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again! Again!
I don't think you're just sick. I think you are damaged.
Hopeless. Get out of
You
my
need
kitchen
rehabilitation. You need, like, professional help.
Dad, what's wrong?
He's, like, suffering from, like, trauma relapses. Somebody do something.
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then
The trauma.
Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
This is an interesting plot development to happen, like, an hour and a half in.
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Oh, hi!
Monica, when did you get here?
I didn't even notice you arrive. I did notice you arrive. I don't know why you arrived, though.
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firmin, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savanna was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savanna horror story. Let's hear it.
Really? You're excited to hear more?
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it! In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
And the customer liked it, remember. The goat Renaud was still saying what they put out was good.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out, or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Yikes.
Oh man, that must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working.
They've pronounced his name a different time every time it comes up, I feel like.
And even under Savanna, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savanna was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savanna and talk this out.
I don't know if that's healthy.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
Is that why Monica's here?
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Good for you, kid.
Yeah, and if worse comes to worse, we can
I
always get
guess
this
we're
Phoenix
gonna
to
pretend
Lucilla
Monica's
to put
not
out an
here. I know
emergency
she's
call for
soft-spoken, but come
There's
on.
gotta be someone out there, right?
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What?
Why are you surprised?
Why didn't you say so?
I assumed that's why she came.
I was going to, but then, well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savanna? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
It does. It does sound like a bad idea on paper the more you highlight it like that.
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savanna much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Firma.
Unless Savannah's putting you up to this so you can sabotage our chances.
I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savanna to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
I hope you're right.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Paimon, if she was a perfectly good chef, Escoffier wouldn't be mad at her for her use of powdered sugar.
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
What is a Spina-sponsored meal?
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
I've already long since forgotten.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
I can help cook. It'll be good practice for the contest.
Alright, if you insist. Then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
So what is she, and why does she have a tail? Escoffier opted for a huge variety of dishes. Thankfully, both of us are skilled enough that even though it was our first time working together, we had a great rapport. And looks like Monica's even eaten as well. Firmin, everyone's here. This is a good image. That's probably the thumbnail image right there, to be honest. Alright, let's finish this up.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
What is she cooking that pot on? That's not a stove, that's a table. She's cooking on a table. She dished out plenty of praise and taught me an awful lot too. Time seemed to fly by.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
So, this is what Chef Escoffier is truly capable of.
Oh, Navia's passed out on the other end of the table.
I wish I could eat that all over again. It's not often that Escoffier goes all out like this. And it's all because of you, Traveler.
Oh, there was a cooking thingy right here the whole time? I wasted so much time earlier.
Wow. I don't know if I'll ever be able to cook as good as that.
Also, where did Monica go? We lost Monica. Monica has disappeared. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to find a better stopping point, so I'm going to end the stream here, and we'll pick this up at a later date. Ideally tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, everyone. And if you're watching this on YouTube, who knows? Maybe this is edited straight into another part. Bye-bye! Okay, we're back.
There's no such thing.
She's over here. Okay, here we go. Gonna say something?
Why, Savanna? Why?
What are you up to?
Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer.
Isn't that book over there on the crate?
I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savanna's so desperate to get her hands on it.
The secret ingredient in the cake is actually the poison.
But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modest's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore.
I have a feeling it's gonna lead to like a secret treasure map.
The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing.
For it's probably not about how useful it is.
Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savanna I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point.
Were you two friends?
We were. At least I always thought we were.
Sounds like you were terrible friends.
She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Firmin and the other staff so much grief.
Sounds like you feel partly responsible. Why are we getting a close-up on her tail?
Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with.
Maybe you should have set a nicer example.
I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex.
Why? Does he say so in his notes? Didn't he have a falling out with someone as well?
Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli.
Savanna. Savelli. There's a connection there, isn't there?
The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face.
This is giving me Mozart and Salieri vibes, at least in the depiction of the movie Amadeus, for those who have seen that.
And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured.
This is definitely sounding like that movie's portrayal of Mozart and Salieri. Which, by the way, if you want a really good story that's about the comparisons between Mozart and Salieri, I highly recommend Steins Gate Zero. Yeah, not Steins Gate, Steins Gate Zero. So what happened to them ultimately?
Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness.
You know, just like Mozart, who died at like age 36 or so.
And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just came to an end.
But then what happened to...
One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends.
Is it true?
Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it.
There's actually a popular
At least
theory
there are no
that Salieri
records of
killed
Savelli ever being convicted of a crime.
killed Amadeus Mozart, but there's no evidence of that either, and it's just a popular rumor.
Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly
Did I
happened
just
in the
crack the
past.
code? Did I just
All
find
we
the
can
main
do
parallel
is
that this
try and
entire
make sure
story
the
is
present
premised
doesn't
on?
quite go as badly.
My brother's favorite movie? He loves that movie, Amadeus. He has a portable DVD player. Whenever we go camping on trips, that's one of the movies he always brings. It's a good movie. I've seen it countless times. I've even got to watch it for film classes and for music classes. And one time for a history course that was everything pre-1500.
And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut.
With me on the team, there's no way we can lose. With you on the team, there's no way we can lose.
You're right about that. Just follow my lead and victory will be ours.
Ours. You definitely hear that British accent in there, slipping up every now and then.
Let's hope that Savanna isn't all sizzle and no steak. After all the work we've put in, it would kind of be a shame if tomorrow was a complete cakewalk.
That is quite the expression. Oh. Looks like everyone that was eating here is gone. Tomato. Tomato for sure.
Got a sharp...
It's cooking contest day! To the Hotel de Boer! Toot sweet!
Toot sweet. Mary Poppins. Good song. Roasted by Flames is the name of the next mission, huh?
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Wait, seriously? Escoffier in a cooking contest? Now that I've got to see.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
That's a good question. That unfortunately I know the answer to. But the real question I want to ask is the goat Renaud going to be there?
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to
Don't
the Hotel de Bord
see him in
and
the
to
crowd.
this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savanna, I brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't make eye contact.
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format.
Ooh.
Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict.
Hopefully we
This
have
is to
palate
ensure
cleansers
that
in between.
No one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
Unless, you know, we're watching them cook and it's very visibly different.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
Louise.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me.
Let's
Getting a seat
go!
on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Renault's here!
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado,
Just random
the
customer
Hotel
number
de Bord
42.
cooking contest commence.
This Renault guy's gotten so much screen time. Get to board layer 1. Minimum amount of flavorings. Okay, we gotta do this again. This is just easy basic math.
Monica, even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse, Gaspar, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
Alright, so we need 4 of the blue. I don't have any blue cards. Oh, it doesn't need to be blue. We just need 4. Where do I get the... Oh, I gotta get it from here.
Off to the freezer! That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors.
There we go. Now, I need 10. There we go. That was actually hard because I didn't know where I was supposed to get the blue flavor. I still think these are some of the weirdest looking stoves.
Come on, Escoffier! Come on, traveler!
Woot woot! Layer 2 makes the next layer of a cake. Shouldn't be too hard. So we need more red this time. I mean, we already have enough.
The balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity is too low.
Alright.
A little Alphonse! What are you playing at? Not how I taught you to do it! Stop horsing around!
There we go. So we have to use at least a minimum of some of each. Easy peasy. I know how to do math.
So, what do you think?
You know, she seems to be yelling at her staff a lot more than we are. Our cake is looking like it's making a lot of progress. 8, huh? Alright.
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on...
Alright. Two servings of floral, huh? I need more ingredients.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
It is. Yeah, I don't want to hear her yelling anymore.
Stay calm, Escoffier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors. Just think.
It's all math. It's basically associative property math. This is 3rd grade elementary math.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
Man, Renaud's at the edge of his seat over there. We are bullying her. She seemed like she is competent, so I have a feeling that when the stuff goes into the back...
to you, Gâteau de Bourg.
Use your elemental burst to complete your work. Oh.
A burst of flavor.
They only make 16 slices of this a day? One cake, I'm just gonna say, looks like it makes more than 16 slices.
That went just as I expected.
I mean, that's an image right there. You could just crop me out of that and use that as a thumbnail, future me. Maybe, I don't know. We got a CG that we can use as a thumbnail. It's not super high priority.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Now, what happens if they swap the labels?
That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
How did we turn that massive cake into this tiny cake? Someone explain that to me.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savanna's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Okay.
Whoa, this is really rather good.
The goat Renaud.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
How often have you had it to make that opinion?
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10.
That's a pretty good score. That's better than I get on most of my tests.
Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
Really? I love this guy. This guy is me. Renaud the goat. How did you end up on this judge panel?
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
Savanna seems to clearly know which one is which.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
I know that that's fruit, like apricot or buell fruit probably, because fictional fruit. Buell fruit, that's probably the center filling. But I would love to imagine it's caramel, because I would love to see a cake with a caramel filling. That sounds delicious to me.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in. I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Wow, even Renaud can taste something wrong with this one.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And the gâteau that was good was Savanna. Watch.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
She spent half the time berating her staff.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
Because this is rigged from the start.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now, all that remains is to turn the plate over and reveal the chef's name underneath.
What? It's Savanna?
No, that's impossible.
I saw this coming! She was extremely confident.
Hey, Savanna, you cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that.
You wouldn't need to. It would only need to be whoever took them in the back.
It was Vanejem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them?
That being said, my original presumption and thought is something that I stated much earlier, which I said maybe Monica is joining our team as a saboteur.
Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her assistants let the team down.
Oh, she's rubbing the salt in the wound. And the cake. Yeah, I think that we should be suspicious of Monica as much as I don't want to be.
You take that back!
Ooh, Paimon sounds mad.
Judges, we demand a rematch.
Who are we? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's getting all shifty-eyed.
That's enough. What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, I should have spotted it. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
It's just a book.
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over and I won. That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you nothing.
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done.
I think Escoffier also has figured out how she's done it. Yep. Monica's gonna break into tears any second now and reveal that she sabotaged it.
But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there
Ex-head
any
chef
other
sounds
unfinished
so
business
weird.
you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss, just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier?
Also, where did the crowd go? Wasn't there a huge crowd?
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
What are you looking for that's in the original copy? Is it like a treasure map or something?
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
It's not worth making a scene.
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it.
Good on you.
Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's mission accomplished for the Spina. honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
Her tail is drooping. Privately, I'm sure she's devastated, but what's done is done.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
It should be the exact same as your copy.
Huh?
That's it? No secrets. No nothing? I don't believe it. This can't be happening.
Uh-oh. Is she collapsing?
Chef Savanna!
Uh-oh. Gasparde!
Savanna?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Whatever you say, Monsieur Vanillin.
Oh, I knew it.
She hasn't been sleeping or eating, has she?
Pent up stress?
Hey, it takes a lot of work getting myself worked up to be as angry as she is. Like, I'm already giving myself a headache imagining myself being that angry all the time.
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
Damn, she was operating on days without sleep.
But why? Why would she do that?
Probably to try to follow in the footsteps of someone she considers much better than her.
Our best guess is, she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
See what I mean?
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
I frankly don't care, to be honest. The stakes of the cooking contest were nothing.
Huh, about that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
Leone and Argalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
It's like I said, it is probably Monica. She probably swaps the labels, or she sabotaged the cakes before they went to the back. My French accent's
Not
getting
to worry.
worse.
Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
We're just going to investigate the cake? Okay, cool. We actually care? Okay. Hup, hup.
Well, how is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Someone added sugar.
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
And who's the one person we know that has been using too much salt in their candies? Is Monica and her powdered sugar. She is the guilty one. Is my accent getting better? I can't tell.
Is it really that bad? I made sure to taste test it before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savanna never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made.
So someone tampered with the icing, and icing is typically made using powdered sugar. The culprit is Monica! How's it going?
Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
Okay, Monica, just fess up already, please.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it.
Yep.
It was
I
Chef
am
Savanna.
smart.
She said if I didn't cooperate,
SMRT.
she would.
She would what?
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no need to hide it.
You know what's funny is if we actually had Navia on the team, she probably also would have put too much sugar in the icing, and it would have played out the same. So sabotage probably wasn't even needed on Savanna's part.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Whoa, did I call that too? I don't remember if I called that.
Food safety. Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I still consider it an accident. Did you do it on purpose?
I think so. Savanna and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen.
How would you even check for that? If you, like, buy tainted meat, it's like the job of, like, the inspector to inspect that shit before it gets packaged and sent out to the stores. If I buy store-bought ingredients and they're tainted, I wouldn't even know how to begin to check for that. It should have never made it to the store shelves.
But I swear I didn't do it on purpose.
Okay,
I
fine.
had no idea
I believe
there
you.
was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to jail.
Still think it's crazy she went to jail for that, which is what's clearly a minor offense of an accident that she probably played no part in.
But the last thing I expected was for Savanna to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
Wow, you let someone blackmail you over that?
This is crazy. So Savanna pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail, it made me freeze up with fear.
Man, you have a little bit of a fear problem. I don't think anyone cared.
I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
What you did was not even worse. Escoffier seems to be the type to take responsibility for her underlings' mistakes, so whether you fessed up or not, I don't think it would have changed who went to jail. And I still think it was ridiculous that anyone went to jail over this fiasco in the first place.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up?
You tell her.
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out.
How long did you...
Secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor.
Are they ever going to tell us how long that stint in Meripede was? Because they said it was like a formality, and she was like probably only there for like a day or two. But like,
So, you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
Foie gras. Foie gras. Foie gras.
You mean... you forgive me?
To err is human. To forgive is divine.
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them. Understood?
Seriously? Like, there was people went to jail for this and a full investigation was not done to see how they got obtained? Man, Fontaine's justice system sucks.
Understood.
Good. Now, back to Savanna. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail?
I think she's looking for some secret that isn't there.
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though.
Or there's like a secret treasure, or like I mentioned that there's the whole parallel between Amadeus and Salieri, and she's probably like a descendant of Savelli, because Savanna, Savelli, the names are on the nose similar.
Ugh. What happened to me?
How's it going, Storm Spectre?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
You mean the Gâteau de Bois?
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Which is why our boy, the goat, Renald, did not notice. That guy was a goat. He got so much screen time in this story mission for a random NPC customer. And it's even weirder that he looked like me.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savanna would get so hung up on it.
And now she's directly above us, listening to every word we said.
So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier's version. But something's always slightly off every time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savanna's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
I have no clue why the automat is blocking Lamau.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
She thought the codex from Escoffier was fake.
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if they were in the book or not, because, like, well, if you want to keep something really secret, why ever write it down?
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Yeah, Savanna, if this is Savanna's motivation, it doesn't feel like it holds up. I'm still going on the theory that there's a secret treasure map hidden in the codex.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savanna had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different?
Probably technique, the way you prepared it. Maybe you cooked it for like a little bit longer than you should. There's so many things that you could do that cause minute changes. We're talking 99.9% the same here.
She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
I agree, Paimon.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
Are they? Yeah, we've been making Gordon Ramsay comparisons constantly. You gonna cry now? She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
New
Oh,
head
flashback
chef,
time.
you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
Oof. It sucks not having name recognition.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
That's why on my YouTube channel, we changed my YouTube channel's name to just be my name. We might be Sheets Streams here, but I'll always be Daniel J. Sheets. Or Dan Sheets. Or just Dan. Dan's Gaming was taken.
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Put your hands on the codex no matter what it takes.
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper.
Maybe it tastes different because she uses her cryo ult as the finishing touch for the cake. Maybe that's it.
Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself, at least believe in me.
Sure.
Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
So you let the Lumaline into the kitchen.
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
I don't think you're the problem per se, but the yelling at other people for sure. You need to cut down on that shit, and working people to death also, and the constant remaking of shit. Look at the goat Renaud. He was an everyday customer. He loved eating here. He couldn't even tell that there was a difference. This is all in your head.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savanna's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet.
I do not think that she is ready to speak with anyone either.
Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
C'est la vie. Okay, good. The Frenchman's gone. I can use my English accent again.
Family. I wonder what he'll make of all this.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
Sure, let's go. We waited a day before we got here for the cooking event. I guess we'll wait another day.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
You've done nothing today, Navia.
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you
Macarons?
gonna switch it up this time?
She's gonna use 8 tablespoons of sugar this time. What is it, Escoffier?
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose?
Zilch. Not a whole lot.
Every year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock.
Okay. That sounds like bird things.
Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing.
Yeah, because you gotta adjust to the wind, to the heat, to the air pressure. So many things matter.
Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place.
That too.
So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them.
Did you hear that, Dawei? It's time to step down as CEO of Hoyo and let someone else take the helm for a few years. Same thing goes to you, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, Tim Cook, and so on. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Tim Apple. I forgot. You're Tim Apple now. President Trump said so. Is this about you and Savanna?
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius.
I mean, if you want to go off of the basic definitions of the word, the gulf is about 40 IQ points. But, that being said, there's a margin of error. Because, like, genius, if you use IQ, which is a system you shouldn't really be using to measure intelligence, it's like above 145 is genius, and above 100 is normal, which would mean that everything between 100 and 145 would be still normal. So, technically there's no gap between the two, because if you're at 145 and 146, that's not really a gap. But if you're at 100 and you're at 146, that is a gap. But we're just splitting hairs here.
Cooking is a science, not magic.
You used a
Given the same
vision to
ingredients,
cook.
Same recipe and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish.
They should. They should be able to. But you use a vision for the finishing touches.
Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables that can be accounted for with time and practice. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness.
I don't know if you're right, but I think it's a great thing to believe in.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savanna failed.
Great.
And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then she'll finally see the error of her ways.
I don't know about you, but if I was like 99.9% perfect, I would probably be content with that. Roasted by flames.
Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm gonna head to the Hotel de Boer and spend the night investigating. I get... Genius? Calling someone a genius... Figure out how I need to improve. It's a defeatist attitude and I won't stand for it. Thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm gonna head to the Hotel de Boer and spend the night investigating. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Genius? Calling someone a
Feel
genius...
like we're missing a
just
line of
another way of
dialogue
saying
there.
I'm too lazy to figure out how I need to improve. It's a defeatist attitude and I won't stand for it.
You know, if I cut every single one of these to advancing the time clock forward moments from every single stream, it's got to add up to at least like 18 minutes by now, right?
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanigem isn't for a while.
I want to check on Escoffier.
Check on her? Why? What happened?
She's investigating why it tastes different.
Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
I see.
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
As someone who doesn't drink caffeine, I do not envy you. You really did pull an all-nighter then.
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Let me get you a fresh one. For now, you should get some rest. Damn it.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
I mean, you could live one day without sleep.
Well,
For 2 days is where it starts to get a little sketchy.
Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Submit a dish containing coffee beans.
Coffee. Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk. Wonderful.
She makes you do a lot of
I feel
cooking
much
in this
better
quest,
now.
huh?
Thank you so much, Traveler and
I'm
Paimon.
glad I took that time to do a bunch of cooking off stream. I literally went through all of Fontaine and bought all the recipes.
Glad to hear it. But make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
How goes the investigation?
I think I figured out where the problem lies.
I doubt that.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Based off of looking around the room, I would have said you haven't figured it out yet.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
And yet, look at this kitchen. Seems like you've had your own share of failed experiments last night.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savanna?
She jumped off a cliff, didn't she?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened.
This does not look like a good idea, but I am not sure.
If she's not here, then where could she be?
We should take a look out for any buildings with rooftop access, or any rivers with deep channels.
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Aren't you supposed to be watching her house?
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savanna's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
You went through her shit?
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Oh my god, was my treasure map theory correct?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow.
The missing secret ingredient that was rare.
Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
Modeste?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savanna. Anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Oof. Don't worry, Savanna. You'll break through that glass ceiling someday.
Ugh, idiot. Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Wait, the secret ingredient isn't like 1,000-year-old ruins?
Hold on, there's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
You should have started with that. A letter received several months ago. It was you. You let the Lumiline through, didn't you? I know you were responsible for purchasing that problematic ingredient that day. What would your good friend think, I wonder? If she learned that she suffered on account of your negligence, what would the people in the hotel think? So I imagine you like to keep this a secret from Escoffier, wouldn't you, head chef Savanna? Ah, so it was Savanna that did it. Cool, I was correct in that opinion way, way, way back when I said that. Probably like 3 hours of gameplay ago at this point. A letter received several weeks ago. Retrieve the real codex by any means necessary. That's where the real treasure can be found. And you gave it away, like a fool. Well then, you're gonna get it back, whether in a bet or by force, it doesn't matter. Well, I know, don't you have that cooking showdown of yours? And if you don't think you can win, well, you simply need to have your opponent lose. Imagine that. I imagine that assistant of yours might come in handy in that regard. Letter received not long ago. What are you dawdling for? She was the one who concealed the secret recipe in the first place. Why else do you think you've never been able to recreate her work? She's afraid that you'll outshine her. What do you imagine everyone says about you, both within and beyond the hotel walls? Ordinary, they call you untalented, a hack, a failure, who will never surpass Escoffier. And you know whose fault that is? That's right, it's hers. She's no saint, never has been. So why hesitate?
It was you. You let the
Please don't tell me you're gonna read through everything I just read through.
It sounds like a threat letter.
Oh, thank God.
Does this mean that Savanna was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Monica said that they were on that together.
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this.
I'm gonna be a little annoyed at the Fatuis behind this.
First, we thought that Savanna forced Monica to cheat in the
Which,
cooking
it's probably
contest,
going to be the
but
Fatui.
now
This has
it turns out
Regrator's
that
name written all over it.
someone else forced Savanna to force Monica to cheat?
So did Savanna blackmail Monica? Or is it the other way around? We're not doing. Oh, are we doing the trope again?
You're finally here.
We're doing the whole trope again, where it turns out that the first person we met is actually the one behind everything, huh?
Of course. I should have put 2 and 2 together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
I'm annoyed. I'm a little annoyed. Why couldn't I actually kind of wish it was Regrader now. Boo. We already did this plot. We did this plot with Emily's story quest. And Sinos. I'm sick and tired of doing this. I just want to talk to Renaud again.
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Alright. Underwater ruins. Hooray. Ice and water. This is so weird. Oh. Are we in Remuria all of a sudden? We're reusing some of the Remuria architecture. Are we in a cutscene? Yeah, this is definitely looking like Remurian ruins. Ooh.
This place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
You can say that again, Paimon.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remuria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Hey, it's little seals.
Some blubber
Blubber
beasts have
beasts.
come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off.
I guess they're not used to seeing humans. Let's head further
That
in.
could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Maybe we can go the way the blubber beasts went.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile. See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There is no time for that. Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
I have no other better ideas, Paimon. Oh, we're doing this game again.
Off to the freezer!
Alright. So we want 5.
A little amuse-bouche.
There we go. That should be enough. Alright. Throw some salt on it.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
More pertinently, how do we actually feed it to them?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again?
Put it in
Something
the
about
flowing
the
path.
food flowing away on the current.
Okay, so it really wants me to wait until it goes all the way to the end.
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
One down.
The tracks turned back again.
So annoying. Don't even have to put any blue ones in, huh? Okay. Off it goes. Scarf it down.
Hey, it's open!
Oh, hang on. Free stuff? I like free stuff. Okay, where are we? Some time ago. Are we cutting to Savanna POV? There they are.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off.
What is?
Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives.
For blast tunneling? Oh, people are gonna die.
Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you.
I kind of don't like this new turn of this new heel turn we're getting out of Monica. I liked you better as a sniveling baby.
You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor.
Oh, you're Modeste's ancestor. Oh, I didn't even make that connection. I was making the opposite connection. I assumed that Savanna was an ancestor of... Savelli was her ancestor, but you must... That makes you Modeste's... was your ancestor.
He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity.
Oh, wait. Wait, why did you word it that way, then? Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. Wait, Modeste murdered your ancestor? Oh, this is complicated, then.
He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
Everyone has a right to redemption. Even you, Monica.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
Big trouble how? What power do you have in this dynamic right now?
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
Whoa! I knew Savanna was feisty, but yikes!
What?
Never mess with the Sicilian when death is on the line!
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback!
But you drink it too.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
Uh-oh. I don't like an evil laugh like that.
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
What? How?
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know. Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
How did you fail to poison water?
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savanna. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance.
Here comes the
and now
knife.
It's time to say goodbye.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica. We've got you surrounded.
Do we? I mean, I don't know if there's another exit in the other direction.
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive! Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savanna's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry.
They did stumble on some sort of ancient treasure, didn't they?
Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad!
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug.
Man, why does everything in Fontaine boil down to drug trafficking?
That's right. I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
It was supposedly rare even back then. Do you think there's any of it actually left?
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
I don't buy it. And she blew up the walls. Oh.
What's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Seems like she escaped in the commotion. Let's find another route and go after her.
Uh-oh. Savannah's gone too.
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
I mean, Savannah's safer now. I ain't saying that. Well, there's one piece of good news. Come on, Ether. There's better dialogue to have than that.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savanna alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Does she, though?
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Nah, we can move that pillar. Dig a tunnel. Look for a way forward nearby.
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
That is a good point. Let's go swimming. Ooh, is this where the seals came up in the path?
Ah! Golems! How are they still mobile?
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Too late for regrets.
Alright, didn't have to fight them. But we gotta try out Escoffier a little bit. Ooh, text! Barely legible engraving. Following the exalted Harmost order and in accordance with the Sebastos, sacred most benevolent temper, we establish here a blank as condolences for the naturalized barbarian soldiers. Savages they may have been, they were also warriors. With this secret treasure granted graciously, the warriors' bodily desires are satisfied, and may fight on with 100-fold bravery. What is it, meth? Something that makes them not hungry anymore and fight on?
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Gotta do this again. And I didn't think that they would find a way to incorporate cooking into a dungeon puzzle. But they didn't just do it once, they did it twice. And also, this really rare machine that is used for whatever is somehow also here in the ruins. How convenient. Is it eating it yet? There it goes.
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Down it goes. Oh, it sure has taken its sweet-ass time. Really?
The night is cold. We'll see about that.
Squall and Fury, you dare to gaze upon me?
Don't be scared.
A little amuse-bouche.
Dare to mess with me? Truth repeats its course.
That was annoying.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that.
Alright, I've got to jot this down.
Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
The irony. Oh, come on. How much deeper can we go? Did we catch up with them finally? No.
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
They don't look that worn either. Could this have been left by previous adventurers?
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Let's rummage around. They may have left a journal or something.
Oh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff.
Oh, there's another thingy over there.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
Bingo, found it.
Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
No, that's just you. No, it's pretty common.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
Alright, time to do some reading.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins.
Oh, it's Savelli.
It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gateau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the Gateau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame.
Oh wow, this is definitely a whole Mozart and Salieri story.
Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
He died young.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient. The birthplace of Gateau de Boer.
Whoa, whoa. The mic sounded weird there for a second.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
It doesn't sound like it from what we've read so far. Well, let's keep reading.
The taste of Gateau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste.
Uh-huh.
The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely.
Yeah, that's basically what we got from that tablet we read.
In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself.
He killed himself by eating it all.
The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life. And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
This is literally paralleling, basically, Mozart and Salieri in the film Amadeus. If you haven't seen this film, I cannot promote it enough.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
And Savelli killed that person, is what I think Monica said.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gateau de Boer, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass.
He's gonna protect the legacy.
I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters.
He's willing to save the reputation of his dear friend, even if it means ruining his own.
The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh no, we gotta stop Monica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savanna should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Okay, let's read that tablet real quick. The barbarians who take the blank are gradually losing part of blank. There's no cause for worry. The desire to break free from forms of flesh and blood is also the first step to guiding them towards accepting civilization. Yep. The history of the drug is here too.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savanna, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savanna. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine!
Man, this turned into an Indiana Jones story really quickly.
Oh. It's empty. It's empty?
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
It's cool looking. I'll give him that. That jar is probably a worthy treasure in itself.
Oh, Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
I think that's gonna piss off the statues.
Praise be to Lord Remus.
Well, there goes Monica.
You barbarian shall be slain.
Holy shit!
She's a nutcase, a liability to herself and everyone else.
We just let her die,
Now
though!
it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out.
We literally let her die, though. You don't feel guilty about that at all? Escape the ruins. That was a needless death. Maybe it's because of the fighting. Or maybe because Monica was too trigger-happy with her explosives.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want...
Holy shit, she's still alive.
I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
Holy crap. You are a nutcase.
You're a psycho.
I was willing to bring your body back, believe it or not. Please tell me we're not just gonna leave her to die, though. Oh, did you smack her with the jar?
Savanna? Oh, when did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
I still feel like this was a really, not badly written, but like just disappointing. I'm not exactly happy with the whole trope of the person we meet right out the bat turns out to be a villain the whole time. I'm not a big fan of that trope. It's fun every now and then, but it's been a little bit overused in Genshin's story plot. Especially since it's like she did a full personality 180 on top of that. We need to go. We're out of time.
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
I guess we're leaving her to die. Yep, there she goes. For real this time. I feel bad when we leave people to die. I'm not a big fan of that. She was crazy, but there's a lot of misunderstanding. I don't really know. A lot of bad blood. I feel like this could have been resolved peacefully.
Escoffier! Savanna!
Traveler! And Paimon!
I guess no one is worried about Monica?
Venejem, what are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
Cool, you could have came with us.
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
Man, you would have came with us. We could have carried out Monica.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed.
And you did technically kill Monica. I think you can go to jail for that.
Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Yeah, because now you're going to go to jail for murder, but
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think.
99.9% perfect, remember.
If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Although you do owe Firmin an apology.
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
You do also owe Monica a lot of apologies for overworking her as well, but at the same time, you killed her.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left.
We're just going to gloss over the fact that she killed a
We've
woman.
been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is.
Just remember what the Gold Renan said. I couldn't tell the difference.
At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
And Monica.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savanna.
Man, he had like PTSD and couldn't even pick up a knife.
Firmin? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse.
Yeah, you can say that again.
But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Oh, did you get over it?
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night.
He was being poisoned on top of everything? Wow!
And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumiline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects. A small dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that means more fragile or more hot-tempered.
I think Monica might have also been self-dosing.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
You're already sounding a lot more confident.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
Also, I guess the lineage of Modeste is gone forever. Rip.
There's more. We believe that Firmin was likely not Monica's only victim.
Monica herself.
You mean she poisoned me too?
And that's why you were going all angry on everyone?
Oh, so that's why Savanna's been so irritable this whole time.
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting.
Seems like a very weird wonder drug.
So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
You also killed Monica. Are we gonna keep glossing over that?
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just... is it because...
No, it's not.
You're a genius and I'm not?
It's gotta be like some simple thing you overlooked.
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
That reminds me, at work, the heating element in our oven is also broken. So it doesn't cook everything in the oven doesn't cook evenly.
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature.
Oh, that's not what's wrong with the oven at work. The oven at work, it just does not heat half of the oven.
All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night?
It does show that you are better, but the gap can't be that large.
It all comes back to one simple,
No, you're
undeniable
overthinking
truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savanna.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months?
6 months?
A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius.
Make your own thing. It's better.
You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
Good on you.
That's our head chef.
Ha ha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
I don't know about that. She might need to go to jail for murdering Monica.
What a perfect ending to a crazy journey. Look how happy everyone is.
Monica's dead, Paimon.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Man, and Navia wasn't here to see this through to the end.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Maybe not all their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
This is highly not the problem.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
She's dead.
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savanna's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
How did you guys know it was a death trap? They're all in on it.
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today. Right now, this instant.
Cool, let's just do a satisfying salad and call it a day.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
I was willing to let it go.
The
Oh my god, we're
second cooking
cutscene.
contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back.
Is that fair? Also, Anavia's not here, which means Paimon actually has to be the assistant. Still think those ovens look weird. Also, is the goat here? Is the goat still here? Yes, he's here! He's still on the judges panel, too. Whoa. Oh no, we're going full Food Wars. This one random customer got so much screen time.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
I'm sure you did
What are
fine.
you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like.
So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
Amadeus and Salieri.
I'll do it.
Also, Monica's dead. I'm gonna hammer that in again. She killed a woman.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Landslide? Ooh, I hoped it would have been closer than that.
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Ha. Kale seems very happy with the results.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
This wasn't for you, was it? You did this for Savannah. You did this for Savannah's sake.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
What are your future plans?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually,
We haven't seen her in a day or two.
Before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in.
We actually haven't seen Navia since the first cooking contest.
I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore.
Interesting.
So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
That's kind of a really egocentric decision to think that they don't need you anymore.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow
Nowhere to
chef
go but
named
up.
Yue, and in her, I saw so
Oh my god,
many
really?
possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table.
We're familiar.
There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook.
Like powerful drugs that make people lose their senses.
Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
We weren't on the judges panel.
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
I'm always down to be your taste tester. Definitely make Paimon test all your most experimental dishes.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research, make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg, revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Good luck to Savanna, I guess.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria.
Yeah, we did get to see Monica get murdered.
Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Bourg.
And it's a family history to boot, so she was like, literally, her entire life was attached to this.
She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
She sold her soul for a dream, then a rude awakening. No, she got fucking murdered. Her life's work became a grand exercise in futility.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth.
What was there to figure out? It was pretty written plain as day.
The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
I don't know. I think the stuff they're talking about is a little bit different or more potent than Lumiline.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk.
And we killed Monica over it.
Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Fuck you, Ether. Fuck you. Yes, Paimon. Poor Monica.
Hey!
Oh, hi, Navia.
Huh? Navia? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old.
Oh my god, she lived.
Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Wait, isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
We murdered Monica over nothing. Well, this was indeed a quest. I'm gonna be busy over the next couple days. So I'm probably not gonna be able to jump into the event right away. But we got 10 days of it, so maybe I'll get around to it. Anyway, thank you everybody for stopping by. If you'd like to see what I'm going to be doing more of in the future, best place to do that would be to join the Discord. There's the call of action. Alrighty, we're going to be ending the stream. Rest in peace, Monica. Just Monica. Stay safe, everyone. Keep an eye out for some bonus content, actually. I have some school projects that I made videos of. I'm going to put them up on the YouTube channel. They'll be in the playlist of class projects. Keep an eye out for that. Just some fun educational stuff for y'all. Bye-bye.